I'm joined in the studio by Steenhaut from software solutions provider Nuance and micro-business specialist Tony Robinson to talk about innovations in small businesses in the UK, France and Germany. What key areas of innovation should people be looking at? Stephen.
Well, talking a little bit for my own shop now, I think speech recognition and document management are two things where, apart from having a good website, being mobile, companies should look into. And why? Because it's a small investment with a high return on an investment, and that's where we're all looking for. It's investing. An SMB or business owner should be always vigilant for things to invest in. He needs to see opportunities, but he needs to get a return on investment, else his business will not last a long time. And these are small things to invest in, which can definitely make a change. When I look to a competitor product and I see people buying that, for functionalities they really don't need, and they are paying a price 3 times higher. That's not a good return, right? So really look out for opportunities, inform yourself, ask help from a vendor, for example, or from a partner, and be informed.
But you see, this is where we come back to the fear thing that we mentioned right at the beginning of the programme. If you're working alone, if you're in isolation, you don't know necessarily who to ask.
Yeah,
you
and
don't know how to go
why
about.
break things when it's working?
Yeah.
But that's not a long-term vision. It's good for now.
Yeah.
But it's not getting you towards that point within 5 years.
Yeah.
It's a massive problem, is this area about trust, about who you would trust to advise. So you're actually scared from doing something because you're afraid you're going to be ripped off, or you might end up spending a lot of time on something you can't do, or you'll feel stupid. And that's why I think peer-to-peer learning is very, very important. So it's better for me to talk about speech recognition at a business show to a group of business owners than it is for Nuance to talk about it, if you like.
You're using it.
Because it's a trust credibility.
Absolutely. Sue picked up on the word innovation and wants to know the 3 cost-effective, you've possibly covered this, but just recap for us again, the 3 cost-effective innovations that she could employ overnight that would make her a more efficient business person. 3 on the spot.
Well, I don't know how the business is structured of that person, but a good bookkeeper. It's so important. Getting your document streams under control. Use MFP, the technology is out there, and manage your customers in a good way.
And I'd try multiple sales platforms to actually see which of them actually develop some clients. So if you're a services, there's lots of those, freelancers, for photographers, for whatever kind you like. If you're a trade, if you're in the building trades or whatever, there are lots of those as well. I think we'll actually get to a kind of Uber world really eventually, where people actually choose a job on demand. So for example, people per hour have now got something where they have an algorithm so that if you want to resize a photograph, that is just the job, and then 5 people come up and say £10 to resize your photograph, for example. And so I think exploring all these options is incredibly important.
About the sales platforms, I just remember a number: 85% of the people who are out there to buy something are already informed, already have made their decision before engaging with somebody who is vending the product.
Correct.
Interesting.
So therefore, for example, the website, it's so key in these days to have a good website, an informative website, because else you're losing this customer.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, coming back to your speech, you being such an advocate of speech recognition, Tony, Pascal has said, do you think eventually speech recognition will render other forms of input, i.e. this, probably, obsolete?
I think that if people do it, there are lots of professions that already use speech recognition, a lot more than business owners, and I regard that as a profession as well. But I think speech recognition is so good now in comparison with what it was years ago when I started off, that I honestly do think most people will find it far better than inputting text. It's very, very simple. I'm a great advocate of it because, you know, I am a writer, but there are lots of writers like me that are now very impressed with things like speech recognition. So I think it could do,
Thank you for watching. Goodbye.